Hello and welcome to Swedish Linux the right way. Today we're going to talk about two subjects. The first is why I can't have a Linux workstation permanently, why I still need to boot in to Windows. The other subject is what Linux need to do to start really compete with Windows and macOS. Until then, Linux will not have a chance. But please, like, subscribe, and press the bell notification. It doesn't cost you anything. And we're going to talk about this right after this. Hello, and welcome back. Okay, let's talk about the two subjects. Let's start with the first one. Why I can't have Linux as my primary operating system for my primary workstation and production machine. Well, just bear with me. Simply, I could just say software and the video would be end. But there is more to it, and I will show you to it right now. And then we have what Linux needs to do to really start to compete with Windows and macOS. So let's go over to the web and see what exactly is it that make me to boot into Windows. So this is one of the reasons. I have, of course, Linux have plenty of video editing software, Kdenlive and Lightworks and we have DaVinci and so on and so forth. But Linux does not have is this Filmora. And I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. This is just because I use it and I like it and it's easy. Filmora is basically making DaVinci Resolve to an iMovie version. And you still have all the whistles and bells with it. And this is why I still need to boot in to Windows, at least one of the reasons. Simply because this kind of software does not exist on Linux at all. Not yet. I hope, and I've talked to Filmora and asked them to make a Linux version. And then I will be the happiest man in the world because I can have my work machine completely Linux based. So, what is it that is that good with Filmora? Well, you can read this. It's AI driven. It's it's really, really, really uh, very heavy program when it comes to the functions, but it's very easy to use. And you have all the AI already in them. There is a free version that you can try, but you're limited to all the plugins and all the transitions and sounds effects and so on and so forth. But this program is really what make me boot into Windows. You have everything, and I'm really talking about you have massive libraries, huge libraries, and I am really impressed how much they have. But There's one thing to read it like this. Let's switch over to the program. So now you can see the program. It's very simple. This is over a small screen because I have 6K and this is recorded in 1080p, unfortunately. But as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. The libraries, AI generated, some I saved. You have huge library. We're not talking about a couple hundred, a couple of thousands of each category. This is extremely very good quality music, sound effects as well. You can even ask the AI to create the music for the video you've created if you don't know to put what music or intro or whatever it is you like to do. I have a couple of my own. You have huge library. I mean, look at it. I mean, and this is not all. You can download even more. You have video effects, film, graphic, color correction. You have really everything. I don't know what you need more to really create. I'm talking about YouTube's film. I'm not talking about a Hollywood Avatar class film, because then you need something like DaVinci Resolve. But I mean, for day-to-day use, in this program, I really can do a video very quick. Edit, add the transition, add the effects, add all I need, boom, and it's done. This is one of the main reasons why Linux is not more popular when it is. It's starting to get more popular thanks to Steam Deck and games. But to really get the big push, I think games are good pulling in power that suck you in Linux more to their everyday use. But still, Linux needs to have this kind of software. Quality software that is simple and that is easy to install. One click, one install. Not you need to edit some library files or some installation file, config files. It must be at least as easy as Windows, because normal people won't go and edit config files. They just want to click a program icon, install it, and get on. Not to go inside different libraries and edit just to make it work. And this is the reason. And this is just only one example. There are many other examples I could show you why I still need Windows, even if I really love to be completely 100% Linux. But this is one of the reasons I cannot, because this type of software with AI, we are not talking about some simple editing software. We are talking full-fledged editing program that can do a lot of what the big boys can do, like DaVinci Resolve. Okay, it's not as good as DaVinci Resolve, don't get me wrong, but the simplicity, this program, my mom, that is almost 80 years old, kind of without bigger introduction, start using it because it's that simple. Everything is basically in 4 columns, and then you have the bottom. That's it. You don't need to jump around, edit panels and all. It's like this. It's so simple. This is what Linux needs, the Linux community need to get. If they really want to get the masses, they need to fix this. Without this, sorry, you're going to be a 2, 3, 4% operating system. So now let's talk about the second problem. I've already been onto it, but you see, the second problem is that the simplicity to install software is very, very hard on Linux. Let me take you one example. Let's go back to the web. This, I just click the download button. I get one file only. I double press the file and the installation starts. And when it's done, I just click on the icon and I'm on. This is what I'm talking about. I don't need to, for example, edit some config files, edit some other files, or add special libraries because there's missing. I got everything fixed. Let's talk about DaVinci Resolve, which is what I actually like to use. But you see, I can download it as well. But when I download it and I tried it on Ubuntu, I tried it in Debian, I still need to add several libraries manually. I need to install several other files just to make DaVinci start. I'm not talking about working because the graphic support for AMD on Linux sucks big time. NVIDIA, much better. But on Windows, none of this. I just double click, it's installed, and I'm up and running. This is what I'm talking about. But obviously, people on Linux doesn't get it. Let's see. Windows installation file. Windows program. Windows install. Windows program install. And let's see if we can get something here. You see, I didn't find it what I was looking for, but you get the point. I get one exe file. Oh, here we have. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Whatever you want to install, and here we have an Office installation. You have one file that is .exe, and that's it. You don't need to mess around with libraries. You don't need to mess around with add other files to it just to make it work. Yes, I understand it's fun, but when you come to a certain level, a certain age, you just want something that works. Yes, you can do that. That's why I love OpenSUSE and Debian. Once I set it up, it's going to work. But it's a lot more tweaks and tweaking, editing to make it work. On Windows, all that hassle has been removed. And this is what Linux needs to fix. And not only that, they need to get over one universal package management, that you have one way. If you really, really want to compete with Windows, we are not talking about just have a variation. I'm talking here to start really compete. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be more new programs or softwares. start with that you have, but you have Flatpak, Snap, App Images, and you have other things. No, Linux need to start to work together. You can still have all the different branches and all the different spins and different versions of Linux. No problem. I'm not against that. But you need to put together a way that one format will be, and everything is included. Not that I first install the software, then I need to go add libraries or add the software or third or fifth and sixth just to make it work. I even couldn't get DaVinci resolved on Ubuntu to start right away. I need to add libraries, two different libraries. Then I need to get another file. I need to install separately. That's a hassle. On Windows, I don't have it because everything is included in that file. This is what I'm talking about. Linux would really, really need to fix this. And the last thing I want to talk about is when they start doing this, they can start to compete with Windows because it will be as easy to install. Linux has its strong benefits of stability and so on, but if you don't have the easiness of installing software that even an old grandma can do it, yes, you have the software center, but you don't have all the software in the software center. You have a lot of software, quality software outside. For example, DaVinci Resolve is not included in the software repositories. You need to install it manually and all that hassle. Linux needs to do this. When Linux have this, they can start to compete. And the best way is try to get all the quality apps like DaVinci Resolve and so on and so forth into repository, the app library, and make it work. Then it will be good. But so far, when Linux is too much tweaking and hacking and editing different config files just to make it work, Linux will never be a big alternative. So this is my two things I want to talk about it. Like, subscribe, and push the bell notification. And we get more later videos, and follow the channel. Share it, please. It won't cost you a dime. And we'll see you in the next one.